Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today I'm going to be doing an insane old coin search. I think they're all silver coins. I took a quick look, but have not actually poured open this bag of, again, I believe silver coins, but it says the Greenwich Trust Company, Greenwich, Connecticut, super old kind of bank. So it's like a original kind of vault bank bag, and it could be just common junk silver type situation, or maybe it'll be something super rare. And so I'm obviously hoping for the latter. This one's actually on consignment. I didn't purchase it outright. We're going to do really well for the person who's selling the coins, but I'm hoping that we're going to have some exciting stuff to maybe send to grading. And if not, it'll still be a very fun silver search. So that's what we're going to do next once we take open this bag. And this is such an interesting old bag of silver. I'm thrilled to be able to open this thing up. And I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to pour out the coins because it's really not every day I get to see something like this. Wow, this looks interesting as well. It says Petty Cash, Fairfield Home Oil Co. Incorporated, $30. That is really, really interesting. $2 of dimes. This feels super historic and interesting. And it feels like there's a mix of maybe rolls and some half dollars. Very, very cool. Wow, there's a lot of silver in here, and silver has actually been going up quite a bit recently. So the aim is going to be, darn, that is so many interesting coins. Let's see if there's anything else left in there. Just a fantastic mix. Looks like an old dime roll, Mercury dimes maybe. What does it say? Abbott coin counter. I've seen that Abbott coin counter in the past. Johnson Fair Box Company. Let's see if we can get a rare date. 1935. Some Walking Liberty. Half dollars. This is going to be a fantastic hunt, and I'm excited to kind of get it started and just look through maybe some Kennedy. That one looks like it's been on the end of a roll and has toned nicely in the meantime. So many neat, and maybe I'll just even start by opening this up, and we see again beautiful toning on the end roll, 1964, and a nice group of flashy uncirculated Kennedy half dollars. Darn, those are really, really nice. So again, I think maybe the best approach here, I'm trying to think how much of this to do live. I kind of want to do a good bit of it live with everybody. There's another 1964 uncirculated. This probably was assembled not too long after. That says another $30, but then it says 50K. I wonder if that means it's gold. I doubt it, but you never know what could be mixed in. This one seems like it's still sealed. I mean, this is still sealed after probably 40, 50 years. Well, maybe we'll start with this one and see. Okay, so that appears to be containing some more of these silver half dollar rolls. Interesting, and there's an invoice here that I'm going to try maybe to open off camera in case. Okay, this, talk about, it says $180 of change in total from 1965. And 180 face is quite a good bit of silver today. Thousands of dollars. February 24th, 1965. What a fascinating old collection. Wow. You really don't get to see, this means it's been sitting here for 60 years. And let's see, it looks like there's even the remnants of a rotted rubber band in there. Let's see what the dates are. That's an earlier date already to start with. 1917 Walking Liberty half dollar. No mint mark on it. You can often check for the obverse. 1945 with an S mint mark down there. Nice Franklin half dollar. 1952. 61. This is going to be 1936. Always look for the double die obverse there. And I don't think I see it, but I always want to take a, well, Some of the lettering looks thick, but I think the 36 double die is even much thicker than that. 1952, 61 on the Franklin, and that looks like a more modern 1942 Walking Liberty $50, but a good start over there. I think next up, my guess would be, I'd be curious in opening this roll of $50. Looks like it's more Franklin halves, and I normally would have no qualms kind of tearing up the packaging, but in this case, I'm going to try my best to, and if something happens to it, it's fine, but if we can rotate it like so, and then the coins just come out, because it does feel pretty historic. Wow. Going through collections is one of my favorite things to look through. 1943, 39, 42. There's some nice Franklin halves. That's got some interesting old, can't tell, I think it's some gunk and not toning. 1944, but just a massive pile here of silver. 43. It looks like that one's going to be 1920. So an older date, 43, 42. The Franklins, unfortunately, there's not so many rare ones to look for. 1960, but especially with how silver prices are today, it can be pretty significant. And then there's a pretty worn Franklin $50 as well, 1951. Another, great mix here. That one looks like it's in good shape. It might be an older type. 1943, though, ends up not being so old. 43, 44, 42. There's a 57, 45, 42, 41. And just to think how long these have been sitting in an old collection like this has certainly appreciated quite a lot over that time period, and certainly also was much better than holding $180 in cash. To think, power of saving over time. That one looks like it was probably on the end of the roll, as it's received an interesting tone or just kind of overall feel and look to it. And then let's see what to do next. Okay, my feeling is that what we should do is go for this roll. I'm hoping it's a lot of Mercury dimes, and then I might not do as much live searching. We'll do like an overall hunt through everything. But it looks like, and on that end too, okay, one was Roosevelt, one was Mercury, another was Roosevelt, and then another Roosevelt on the end. So I was kind of crossing my fingers. The Roosevelts, there's a few die varieties, but we're probably going to be more taking a look at the Mercury dimes. Maybe there will be a 1942 over 41. On the edge of that roll is a 19... I think that looks like, to me, maybe 19... I'm not even sure. Maybe in 1919, maybe in 1917. I think it's 1917. But I'm still going to look. There's a 42. Unfortunately, it's not over that 41. But there was an overdate where they, instead of discarding the die, they punched a 1 over, or a 2 over a 1 from a 1941 to 42 when they were changing years. And so there's 56. There's a 36 and a nice looking dime behind it, though not quite enough good condition. Let's see what else we've got here. 44, 37, 36. Again, we want to count everything through to make sure there's no rare years, and it reminds me I should probably make updated videos on all of the different exciting things that you could look for on these, even if they're a little bit more challenging to find. There's a 25, so it's a little bit of an earlier year for Mercury dimes. 42, we're going to look closely. And does that almost have the tracings? But I don't quite think so. But I thought for a second there might have been a 1 poking out there, and I'm probably just seeing things that I want to see. And there's a 42 as well. So I think that's a good way to go. I'm going to try to sort and count everything else up and make sure that there's no rare dates, make sure that there's no better types. Maybe there will be some barber coinage or an error or something like that. But I don't think that we've gotten anything crazy, but also at the same time, I wasn't sure when I saw some silver up top, maybe this bank bag would just be full, of Kennedy half dollars clad. I've gotten things like that have happened, but for this to all be silver especially, I'm so fascinated. We've got this sealed envelope. Maybe it's not sealed, but no, it's been like sealed shut. I think that one will have to come open just in case there's something crazy in there. That'll be a really fun opening as well. And here are all the coins after the search. We have in front of us is literally 220 face value in different types. I checked for some of the known varieties. I didn't find them, but some great Franklin, Walking Liberty, and Kennedy half dollars. And then the vast majority of these are going to be just regular Washington silver quarters, no rare dates. We did find one nice barber quarter, 1914, but it's not like there's tons of barbers, so it'll probably just be one of the few things I do pull out here. We also found an 80% silver 1950 Queen Elizabeth II Canadian quarter. But we do kind of have a grand finale, and that's this Fairfield Home Oil. It says 30 to 50K. Now it could be also 30 to 50 cents now that I look at it, in which case probably a little bit less exciting, but I'm going to do this while I still have everybody here live. We will unseal the bag, and maybe I'm trying to think what would be the best case scenario. Maybe it'll all be classic commemorative half dollars, but super old school 3 rolls here. And actually, why not, instead of transitioning off, I'm gonna pull out my tripod and see if I can not do this totally continuously. Probably not the best camera work. I think I'm gonna fast forward it, but it will be continuous so that everybody can see it. And time to check out these last dollar rolls, $10 of halves, and I'm not seeing, it looks like the Abbott Coin Co. situation. I'm not seeing anything that is particularly promising, but we can't rule anything out. I feel like that's the big thing. There's been lots of collections I've looked through where everything is, high value. This is going to be probably worth 37, a few, maybe like $7,000 or something like that. Maybe even a little bit more than that, maybe 6,500, but pretty valuable collection. Obviously, there's a D mint mark 1943. Want to take a look at each one of these, and then it comes down to the wire, but it ends up being worth something pretty significant. So that will be added. We've got 2 more chances to find. Maybe it'll be a key date barber half dollar, or 1921, or there's just so many ways that coins can end up being worth a significant premium. That's a nice 44. A lot of 44s here, 42, 45. I saw a 38, but it was not the 38D. Just a lot of fun different, ooh, that one's kind of old. I'm going to guess 1917, and it is a 1917, but no additional mint mark that I can see. It just has that worn, and it's crazy to think that would have been World War I time period. And I also remember being young when 1917 was not 100 years ago. It was more like 90 or 89, and it seemed old then, seems even further back at this stage. So that roll, unfortunately, I think in total, I'm trying to do some fast mental math here. I think we're looking at over $250 dollars face value in silver, 90% silver, which is really quite a lot. So definitely a good grouping here. A 37, 52, 44, 46. Walking Liberty goes all the way up to 47. A lot of people forget that there are those post-World War II years mixed in as well. Some nice earlier Franklin half dollars, but just a great outcome. If you had $250 and put it in cash, I don't think that interest rates would carry you near $7,000 in value. So kind of a good reminder about how silver can be used to preserve wealth over the long time, or at least just a small strategy of it. But that is the grouping, 250 plus face, and look forward to carrying any future videos right back to you as I get them in. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another one.